because existence is one. So nobody is superior, inferior. We belong to each other. All are equal. Capacities are different. Environments are different. Requirements are different. But no matter, we can share and we can live happily together. Like cooperation, coordination, not for a selfish, petty interest, but for the truth that we are one. Everything is one. That is the way to harmony in the society, in the samaj. We have to act like this. Now, this is a theory, so many words, all true, all experienced by our ancestors. They are eternal truth, holding true everywhere. But still, what are we going to do about it? That is important. We have to start acting, start doing it. First, we have to dispel all the differences away from our mind, because all these difference, these notions of inequality, yours and mine, it is in the mind. Even if you outwardly you are acting in a right way, if you see a person, there was a funny incident. I was in Bihar at that time. So I went to meet a worker, our principal, in a college. He was laboratory assistant. And exams were going on, therefore he was engaged. So he asked me to sit in principal's room and wait for him some time. He also informed the principal that I was Kshetra Pracharak at that time. Our Kshetra Pracharak is, I asked him to sit in your room. Principal said, oh. After some time, Mr. Principal, he came into his room. We had namaskars. Then he asked me my name. Our worker already told him, Mohan Bhgawat. In Marathi, Mohan Rao. Rao is not a surname. It is Mohan Ji or Devre. We take Kannada. That was a respectful attitude. He asked me, you are Mohan Rao. That means Narsingh Rao, like that? Narsingh Rao ji was Prime Minister at that. I said, no, it is just. He said, so who are you? I said, I am Mohan Bhgawat. No, who are you? I said, I am Kshetra Pracharak. I understand that, I am told that, but who are you? I said, I am Pracharak of Sangha, Rashtriya. Who are you? I said, by education I am a veterinary doctor. I am asking you, who are you? You know what I am asking. Why are you not answering? I asked him, why you require this knowledge? Who am I? I am going to sit here for 5 minutes. When I meet my Swayamsevak, I will go out. I don't know whether I will meet you again or not. In those 5 minutes, why do you want to know who am I? My name is sufficient. I am a Pracharak of Sangha, Kshetra Pracharak. All this information is sufficient. That is the thing. It is in the mind. So, we have to clean our mind. Tathagat says how a life should be lived. He says, Sabba papassa akarana. Don't do any sinful thing. So no theft, no this, no that. You know. No improper behavior. Then, kusalasya upasampada. Earn for yourself without harming others. Yoga karma su kaushalam, we say. That kaushalam is this. With your karma, you should not harm anybody. Then, satchitta pariyodapanam. That is the chitta shuddha. The endeavor of bringing dharma into one's life is summarized in these three everywhere. proper behavior, without a sinful behavior. You have to live your life without harming others, and you have to clean your mind. Clean your mind of all vikars, etc., etc. You have to see everybody as your own. So we have to start this, thinking like this. Then, to do this, only by thought, we can go that much forward. We have to really clean our mind. We have to experience. For that, we have to visit. Start visiting each other, each other's family, each other's house. There are so many diversities in our society of language, castes, creeds. You should make everybody your friend. You should have your friends. Your family should have a family friend or friend family in each of these sections. That we can do. In our normal living of life, we can go around in our area. We can make friends with everybody. We can go visiting them. They come visit. We can invite them. Visit and invite them. In Sangha, we ask the society in each village or in each basti of city that different type of our society, they have their leaders. The leaders should sit together and they should think of three things. First is what we are doing for the betterment of our own caste or something, whichever type you represent. What we do for their betterment. Second is, in what way we together are striving for the development of our area, betterment of our area. And third is, we together should do something for those amongst us who are weak. Unfortunately, there is a history of social discrimination in our country. And due to that, there are some backwards and there are some forwards together, what they can do for those who are back. This should be thought regularly, thought about, and something must be done for that. Together we can do many small things. This type of behavior, we are one. We have to live together. We will take care of everybody else along with our own area. This will create that sadbhavana. That compassion will come into action. And then third thing is, after realizing this, we as a nation have done something for it. In independent Bharat, the Samvidhan, Constitution was given. That Constitution has taken care to wipe out this discrimination, the inequality. But remarkably, when this Constitution was given to our people, Bharat's Parliament, Constituent Assembly at that time, Dr. Ambedkar delivered 2 speeches. Everyone must read, must regularly keep reading those speeches. They are the guidelines for the Bharatiya people to behave in a way they can restore the glory of Bharat. In that he says that the Constitution has taken care to bring political and economic equality. But this cannot be brought about unless there is social equality. The principle of liberty, equality and fraternity, I have not taken it from the French Revolution. I have found those principles in our tradition, in the thought of Tathagat Buddha. World knows that if you try to bring equality, there is no liberty. You have to restrict. And if you want liberty, you cannot rely on equality. If you want both together, you have to have this fraternity, Bandhu Bhav. And then further he says that Bandhu Bhava is dharma. He also cites the example of history. He says no aggressor conquered Bharat due to his own valor. Because of our differences, petty differences of all these things, we handed over on a silver platter our country to them. That has been our history. Now after so many 1,000 years, he says, after 1,000 years we have reacquired our independence. I am afraid that if you continue to quarrel like this, our freedom cannot be protected. So sitting here as the opponents, followers of different ideologies, we are sitting here in different camps, but we have to take care that in society, that bandhubhav happens, that fraternity is inculcated. Our constitution also in its guidelines says that we should try to bring about emotional integration. What is that emotion? That emotion is everything together that tells us that we are one. So, we have to try and support all the proactive measures that have been taken by our constitution to bring about this social equality. It is not a question of who gets what. It is a question of wiping out this very dastardly blot that has been put upon ourselves by ourselves. We have to wipe it out earliest. Unless that is done, how can there be development? Your development is not something individual. There were rich persons in Bharat. There have been always. But we say now Bharat has economically progressed. Why now? Before 2014 also there were rich persons. All Tata, Birlas, Ambani, Adani were there. Even before that, even in the days of pre-independence days of British, there were rich persons. But we are not prosperous. Why? Because when we say we are all together like a body. I am healthy. But one side of my body is paralyzed. That has no meaning. You are not healthy. If something in your body is paralyzed, you are not healthy. You have to make each and every cell of your body healthy. Then only you can claim a health. So when we say development, it must be unto the last man. Nobody should be left out. Maximum good of maximum people is not for us. Sarve pi sukhina santu is our criteria. And to bring about that, if I have to sacrifice something, I should be ready. This type of attitude should be cultivated in minds and it should be carried forward to next generation also. And we should make small repairs in our behavior. A new Karyakarta came to one of our Karyakarta. Someone told him that these people are using you, they will throw you away after you are not. So he was very agitated, and in a summer afternoon, in those area it is 45, 46 like that, he went that Karyakarta. He had just come out from the college and after meals he was taking a nap. So he woke up and took him in and asked him, how come you have come? I will tell you, but first, I am thirsty. I want a glass of. Now our Karyakarta says, okay, go into kitchen. If the drink of water is there, you take your fill, bring a glass for me. And then, after all this was over, he asked, so now tell you, what is your? He said, no, I got the answer. Instead of speaking, lecturing, or giving upadesh, we have to start from small things. Our languages contain so many words which express this discrimination. And it has come in the colloquial flow. Nobody has any intention. But now, because they hurt the feeling, we have to leave that. We have to make our speech pure. The speech quality is, in Marathi there is one thing. How a speech should be. Sats ani rasa. True and attractive. Mitale ani mawal. Measured and soft. Shabda jaise kallola amruta se. Words like kallola of amruta. Not to that degree, but to some degree we can have this. Our speech, our behavior, our small acts should not hurt others, should not make them feel that I am something distant, I am something different. He doesn't see me as his equal or his own. Should not be there. Many things are there for him. If we start doing these small things, these four measures, cleaning our mind, shedding all the past grievances, etc., etc., making us love everybody because they are ours. Then go visiting and invite visitors, making friends, supporting all the proactive measures, and starting from small. This sadbhavana can be created. The harmony comes after that. And then all this behavior should be reflected in our policies also. And fortunately, that has been taken care of by the provisions of our Constitution. When that happens, our society will be one society which all of its organs prospering. And then that will be the real development. But only material concern for development will not bring this about. We have to inculcate these values. And all those values spring, you know better than me about those values. But those values spring from one truth. Everything is one. The differences are of words only. We call them different, call it different. Ekam sat, vipraha bahudha. Everything is. With this we have to start and develop on this. That will bring about the harmony of our samaj, harmony of our rashtra. And that will also show the world a much required way to a new world which is happy and peaceful. I think this is also a God-given duty for our Bharatiya people. So, if we have not started doing this, it is high time we should start doing this. This is our sacred duty. It will fulfill our life, our family life, our social life also. So, I think social harmony as a catalyst, not only catalyst, it is the condition precedent for the all-round development of. If we look to this topic in this manner, I think, and start acting, I think within coming decades, we can completely do away with all the discrimination in our society. Our country will be prosperous. Also, it will be proven to be a guideline for the faltering world. By correcting all the mistakes world does, it will bring about a new peaceful and blissful world. Now let me express my best wishes for you that by doing this, you see this to be a reality in your own life, in this body, in this life, you will be able to see this kind of world. But for that, we have to start today. Thank you very much for patiently listening me.
Very inspirational. Thank you very much, sir, for your very inspirational talk. Now it's time for question and answers. We have already received quite a number of questions, sir.
Huh? You select and talk. There are many questions and time limit you.
The first question is Gopal Singh, professor at Jesus Women's College. His question is, can we have oneness among all religions and community?
Community.
Community, religions.
We have to have. It is not a question of can we. Because all religions try to take us to truth. So, ruchinam vaichitriat ruju kutil nana patayutam nrunam eko kamya tvam asi. The ways are different, but the destination is the same. Some may reach earlier, some may reach late, some may reach quickly, some paths are very comfortable, some are not. All these differences there. But they go to the destination and that destination is same. So, creating religions and quarreling is not what is desired. Creating religions, see the destination, realizing that it is one, have coordination, cooperation. That is a must for humanity to survive. There is no choice. Within communities and within religions, there must come the harmony. Otherwise, these things will destroy ourselves. So we have to put our own example and make world follow. There is no choice. Okay. Second.
Have the second question by Professor Ashok Alu. He says, how do Bharat re-emerge as a nation of religions, spiritual inspiration for the whole world? Vishwaguru. How do you Bharat re-emerge?
I think that has been already answered in my speech. So just remember my speech once again, if you want my answer. Otherwise, it is all there in books, in Swamiji, they tell you.
Honnegowda has asked two questions. I'll just choose one. Would you not think a man has become slave to power, property, and position in the scientific age?
Oh, slave of?
Slave of power, property, and position.
It is everyone's choice. No one can make you slave, or no one can liberate you from slavery. It is your own will, what you want to become. So, I have to give this education to every individual, especially the young generation. Why they have come as human beings. Animals and human beings biologically are the same. Ahara, nidra, bhayam, etunamcha. That is the life. All animals. They don't know why they have taken birth. They don't know how to die. They don't commit suicide. They have to live till they die. And said they have to live happily. So, ahara, nidra, bhayam, etunamcha. It is same with man, but there is one difference. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. Ahara, nidra, bhayam, etunamcha. Samanya metat pashubhir naranam. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. This dharma is not religion. Again, it is purely and exclusively Bharatiya concept. Dharanat dharma ityahu. Dharmo dharayate praja. Dharma is that which brings samutkarsha, material progress, and nishreyas, spiritual progress. Dharma is in the beginning, in the middle, in the end, always blissful. There is no grief in dharma. So this dharma, which takes together everything, prospers everything simultaneously, holds everything together, that dharma is manushya. There is what is difference between man and animal? So if you are a human being and you have the ego that I am the supreme being of this creation, then you have to behave in a supreme way. Animals are responsible for themselves. Human beings are responsible for the universe because they say that we are the superior beings of earth. It implies that they have the responsibility of whole world. So with that sense of responsibility, we have to conduct our own life. If that is there, nobody can compel ourselves to slavery of anything. Nobody can compel ourselves towards sin because we have that vivek. I am not going to go that way. This is not my. So that realization, that samskara has to be given. Then only man can be free of everything.
From Nagaraj, he says, how do we teach our young Indians about Hindustan and Hindutva? Because they try to follow and move towards Western culture and habits.
Don't worry about them, worry about yourselves. We have to be Hindu, we have to practice Hindutva. We have to realize that Karma Kanda is a different thing, that is different for everybody. All the sects, all the sampradayas of Hindus, they have something in common. And that is, first thing, they start with the concept that everything is one. And they culminate into behavior. The behavior that is prescribed is the same. So, we call Dashakam Dharma Lakshan. They are the same. Be it, क्या वो है ना, वैदिक, Shaiva, Vaishnava, everywhere. Darshan is different. But starting point is the same. And the end point is the behavior. Acharan. Acharat Prabhavo Dharma. That Acharan is the same. Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam. Yama Niyam. All these things, they prescribe the same thing. So, we can select our karma. We can select our religion. Our pantha, our sampradaya, our language, everything. But by that behavior, we have to be same. That behavior is important. That is essence of dharma. So, Pramodama, kya hai? Ahimsa Satya Astev. In Gita, the Daivi Guna Sampada is given. All those things, we have to live them in our behavior. That is real tapasya, that is real. So every Hindu can do this. Yes, he can have his own sampradaya, he can have his own karma kanda, he can do that, practice that. But through that he have to achieve this behavior. Then automatically everybody who is led astray will return one day because that path is not going to lead them anywhere. They have to come back sometime. When they come back, they have to find repository of this principle is living in those Hindus who are practicing it. That we have to do. Then everything will be all right.
Mahadev Kumar, this is about, in our Hindu society, marriage has become a big problem.
Huh?
In the Hindu society, marriage has become a big problem because many of the youngsters are not getting married. Tomorrow, the number of Hindus might actually come down. What actually RSS has got to do with this? Or what solution the RSS can provide?
Again, young generation says that why should I marry? Why should I become a slave of another individual for life or for 7 lives, as we say? I don't want to. Very reasonable. But this is not about serving each other. This is not, the marriage is not a way to satisfy each other's desires. It is an instrument of creating a society. The family, vivaha, leads to a kutumba. Kutumba is the basis of society, the basic unit. Economically, culturally, politically, in every aspect of life, it all starts in a family. And better the family, better the society. And better the society, happier the individual. Alone, nobody can become happy. You have to become happy together. No individual can be happy alone. He has to make his family happy. No family can be happy alone. All the village should be happy. No village can be happier happy unless the district becomes happy. All this goes expanding, and therefore when we pray for happiness, we say Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha. Let rains be regular. Prithivim Sasyashalini. Desho Ayam Kshobarahito. Brahmana is not caste. Vidwan log. Brahmana Santu Nirbhaya. Aputra Putrina Santu Putrina Sati. Biodiversity should go on. Adhana Sadhana Santu. Material prosperity for everybody. Sarve Santu Niramaya. And healthy mind and intellect. We pray, we define happiness like that. It is not happiness for individual. It is happiness for everybody. Because unless that happens, nobody can be happy. So, to marry is to take a responsibility of everybody's happiness. And unless we take that responsibility, we cannot be happy. That you have to teach the young generation, not by words only, by your example also. In our families, there is no example before the young generation. They find women slaving their husbands. That we have to change. It is a partnership, it is not slavery. Equally responsible team, they create individuals, they are responsible social citizens. This responsibility, young generation is led astray. There will be happiness, there you will get everything, and you will have no responsibility. That cannot happen. That is going to backline. This you have to teach. If you teach that, then all else follows. And all dangers are averted. But this teaching should not be only by logical arguments. We have to show them exemplary behavior. The very genial and genuine environment created in the family because of that behavior. You have to give them experience, then only they will realize. So start doing that today from our own family.
This is from Sri Madhusudan, former MLC, a highly relevant question, I believe. How to prevent caste vote banks misused by political parties to divide society for their political benefits?
Because society remembers caste, politicians take advantage. It is their legitimate endeavor, no? Getting votes. So they cannot get votes by working, but they can get votes by caste. So society has to forget caste. Then politics will correct itself always. So don't blame politicians. Try to make society forget its caste. Now again, if you tell them to forget the caste, they will remember to forget the caste. So without trying to eradicate caste, you just behave like there is no caste. So roti, beti, everything should happen. That is why, how to do it? I said, support all proactive measures. Not only those given by law and constitution, even individuals who marry intercaste. The first intercaste marriage in Maharashtra happened in 1942. It received two well-wishers messages. More than that, but two prominent. One was Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, another was Mr. M.S. Golwalkar, Shri Guruji, the then Sarsanga Chalak of Rashtriya Sangha. And in his letter, Guruji wrote that I was very delighted to hear that you are marrying intercaste, not for the purpose of your fulfillment of your desires, but to set an example before the society that there is no caste. So that should be our attitude. If we forget caste, caste will stop working in politics and politicians will forget caste. So don't give medicine there. Give medicine your own. By our example, we should do like that. Then everything will be correct. Huh? How many time do you have? If time is up, I think 15 minutes. Time you know. 1 or 2 questions.
There are plenty of questions. We'll not be able to take all of these questions because of dearth of time. I'll select last one or two questions. This is from a Swamiji, Sri Channabasava Deshikendra Swamiji of Kannada Mutt. Here's the relevant question. It is known fact that religious mutts and temples in Karnataka are providing various services to the society. Request to state their stance on the constitutional protection and constitutional nourishment for these institutions. The mutts are serving the society, but the state governments actually are not responding and providing any protection.
Yes, that is the problem in some states at least. Very real problem. But my experience is, if we focus on society, they will take care of the problem. Because state governments now, I am not a man of politics. Why do they do this? I don't know. But to correct this, a public pressure is required. And therefore, if mutts are popular, nobody can harm the mutts. So, once the 7 hills were of Tirupati, the state government conspired to give some hills away to another foreign denominations. But Tirupati is a matter of Shraddha of so many. So they rose together in agitation and the decision had to be cancelled. In democracy, the society makes everything. So if we concentrate on the social change, everything else will follow. So our mutts are doing very good work everywhere. I think it is the best in the world. Formerly missionaries were cited as example, but better example is our mutts. They should continue to do that. Institutions like Sangha will also continue to prepare the society, and a day will come when our mutts, etc., will be free of all outside trouble and do their good work in the society.
This is the last question. I have clubbed actually two persons' questions into one. This is a slightly political one. In the last 13 years, you have supported central government running. Why the bill of population control has not actually come into existence?
Why?
Population control bill, an act, it has not come into force. Firstly. Secondly, common civil code. Isn't it an urgent one?
Is it?
It is an urgent actually need of the nation. Why it has not actually come into existence?
So at the outset, I must explain, I am not the central government or even a state government. I am not a government. I am RSS, which works in the society. So first thing was what? क्या नहीं हुआ? वो तो 30 हाँ पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल
Population control and civil
हाँ
council.
yes again there was a government which tried to control a population but immediately it was utterly defeated. Do you remember? You may remember less because it happened in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, etc. The north of Narmada in emergency. So they were big drivers of the population control, family planning. That operation was going on. People were caught and dragged. All this happened. So government are afraid if they try to control directly. Maybe, I don't know. This may be the cause. All these things, any law, leave population control. There is red light on the square, traffic. Light is there, but if people don't obey, what happens? Actually, people have to be educated. Policy must be there, but policy can be enforced only if people cooperate. So we don't rely on government for anything. We go to people directly. And in people, population control is one stream. Another stream is demographic imbalance. So we recommend that government should think of next 100 years. Today we are nation of young fellows. All those young fellows are going to be old fellows after 30 years. We have to feed them at that time. How many hands will be required? All these factors, projections should be taken into consideration. Condition of our women folk, their education, their empowerment, their health. All these concerns should be taken into consideration and a policy should be prescribed that say, this policy, our present policy is 2.1. Point 1 is not, point 1 is 3. And then educate the public about that policy. And then make it work everywhere without discrimination. There will be no reason for exception. Once that policy is decided, public is taken in confidence and educated, whatever is decided must be followed without exception. No premise may exempt anybody from that policy. And start where ज्यादा गड़बड़ है वहां पहले स्टार्ट ऐसा हमारा रिकमेंडेशन है बट people have to think like that. There are so many things that are in public thought now. This is not the uppermost thing, population control. The demographic imbalance is uppermost. So government has to follow public sentiment. That is the thing. And secondly, you said common civil code. Okay. The Uttarakhand has brought common civil code. 2-3 states, they have brought that law. So state-wise it is coming. Maybe it may come all India sometime. Be patient. Everything happens in democracy, but it happens very slowly. There is not one person who decides. There are 142 crores who decide. So things ensue slowly. Don't worry about that. But keep working. Whatever you want, keep working about it. One day it will reappear. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are extremely sorry that we cannot take all the questions. However, we'll send all these questions to our chief guest. I'm sure we'll be able to get actually answers. These answers and the entire lecture actually will be published in the form of a book and it will be released shortly and you will know answers for your questions. ಈಗ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಿಂದ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಿಂದ ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನ.
ಅವಿ ಇಡೋ. ಅವಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ.
చైతన్యం శాశ్వతం